Hey guys, how's it going? Hope everybody's enjoying the snow. It's cold, we've got snow. As you all know, in the UK it's -5 probably, which I know is not that cold for people living outside the UK. However, -5 in this conditions, you know, this humidity, feels like -20 somewhere else. Trust me, I know, I've been there. So instead of Cold Bay, a good friend, Captain Morgan's helping me out, and yes, I'm drinking it with boiling cold water or tea. You know, it's absolutely working its magic on me. Thank you very much. Cheers. Yeah, that's good. Right. Let's get back on the Virago build. I'll show you what we're doing today. Right, so as you all know, on the previous episode we've been troubleshooting the problem why it wasn't running properly, and I got it narrowed down to pretty much two factors. Well, one main one is the fuel starvation. We kind of agreed on that, and there are two solutions I was working on. One is obviously fitting a bigger petrol tap. With higher flow, basically, bigger capacity petrol tap. And the second solution, if that's not going to work, I'm going to need to mess about on the other side of a petrol tank as well to fit a second petrol tap to help mixing petrol into chambers. But that's obviously more faffing about. If the first solution is going to work, then we're going to go for it and everybody's happy. Some of you suggested Pingle petrol taps, which is like sports super performance petrol taps, petcocks, and yeah, great solution, thank you, but they're like £150 for a petrol tap. I mean, wow, that is a lot of money. Thinking about it, really, you know, 150 quid for a petrol tap, which I'm not sure is going to solve the problem. One side is a bit too much that I'm going to spend. So I've done some research and I found this bad boy. It looks like that in the moment. What it is a really good quality inline fuel kind of emergency stop. That is flowing. You can see probably through the inside over there. That is stopped and that is flowing. And the diameter of this bad boy is 8 mil, which is way bigger than I got over there. And I'm hoping that's gonna solve kind of the problem. Obviously, it comes with two brass push-on adapters for the hose. I don't need one of them because hopefully I can make the existing contraption I got going on over there, adopt the thread so I can screw it in directly underneath the petrol tank, and then my petrol hose will go on over here. And that is my plan for today. Whether that's going to work or not, I don't know, but you know, I figured out that part cost me only £15. 10 times cheaper than 150 quid for the professional petrol tap. And I know some of you may say you need the inline fuel filter, well, not inline, in petrol tank fuel filter, and it doesn't give me the reserve and on option on the on and off. But to be honest with you guys, it's not that kind of bike I need a really reserve, because I'm always be keeping it up, topping it up with petrol all the time. I'm not gonna take it for long distance journeys. I'm not gonna take it to Europe probably, this bike traveling across Germany. I don't think so. So I think that's gonna work, and the petrol filter I can install in line, a nice discreet one, which is really good looking as well. I got one, I had one on my previous bike, and I know they're working very well. Plus I can see any crap that comes from the petrol tank, if there is any, so I can just replace it there and then. Also, I kind of like this piece because it's quite heavy. You cannot feel it, but it's quite heavy and it's really good quality. Polished stainless steel over here with nice thread inside. It's got stainless steel ball bearings and Teflon inside adapters. You know, it's designed for like racing petrol proof kind of engineering, whatever that means. And I like doing things slightly differently, so it's not your standard original petrol tank petcock. It's something else, something that I need to adopt, you know, and hopefully that will rectify the problem of fuel starvation, because petrol flowing through this little thing, it's definitely well, probably 2 or even 3 times more diameter than the original one over there. So before I get to work and try getting this adapter over there ready for this bad boy, I need to drain the petrol from my petrol tank. So that's the next job. Cheers everybody. I'm liking that, yeah. Let's do it. So the petrol tank is off the bike now and it's completely drained of petrol. I put it in the safe container. But I want to show you just now quickly, even though this petrol tank I know for sure is really clean inside, it's still a slightly older petrol tank than the modern ones, and this is what was on the bottom of it, because I dried it into this little bucket. But there you go, this is what was on the bottom of that tank. So that is a very, very good reason why we have to run a fuel filters in line or inside a petrol tank, or maybe even two, doesn't matter, but you don't want any of this shit clogging up your carburetors down the line. It's far easier and better to replace the fuel filter than mess up with your carb. So that's right in the bottom of a petrol tank after draining it, sitting here for like what, 2 months probably. This is what you end up with. That is as far as I can go today, I'm afraid, because I just drained the petrol tank completely from petrol, there's no fuel in there whatsoever. And to do any more work on it, because it will require probably, maybe not grinding, you know, but I need to adopt that petrol, the thread over there that was from the original tap, to join with the new one I've got, the racing one, the high capacity one. High flow, not capacity. I need to probably do some more work and messing about with it, and I want the petrol tank to be completely free of any petrol fumes or residue or anything like that. So I'm gonna open it up and let it air for a day or two, so all the fumes from the inside the tank are completely evaporated and it's dry inside. So there's no risk of fires or toxic fumes or anything like this, and there's no other way around it. Just need to leave it for a day or two. Yeah, so I'm gonna cut the video right over here and I'll join you in a couple of days. Boom. Hello, welcome back. We are now a couple of days, 3 or 4 days actually to be precise, after the last video you saw, well, the last shot, the last scene. That's the beauty of videos, you can fast forward time machine a few days within a second, if you know what I mean. The petrol tank has been airing now. I cannot smell any petrol residue, well, any petrol fumes. It's completely dry inside, so it's absolutely safe to work. What I want to do right now, my mission is to temporarily fit my little petrol tap kind of contraption I've got here. I'll try to fit it, retrofit it to the existing mount I've got over there. I do it temporarily for now. I'm not going to be doing any welding or grinding or anything else. I got very limited sources to actually work with this mount I've got over there. So I'll do it temporarily for now. See whether that's going to solve my problem. I'm guessing it will, but I'm going to take it for a ride, you know, see how that goes, see whether I can make it fix, you know, safely over there. And if that's all working as it should be, then I'm going to work on permanent solution to fit this bad boy into this petrol tank. And as you can see, the weather changed slightly a little bit. We got no more snow, no more sub-zero temperatures, which is all good news. Hopefully smooth sailing from now on, so I'm not drinking hot rum anymore. I'm drinking ice cold beer, which is the way it fucking should be. Thank you very much. Cheers. It's always good. Right, enough talking, let's take some action. Right, so temporarily fitting done, in place. That's no longer needed. Thank you very much. So that's in place. Let me fill it in with petrol again and hope for the best. Hopefully that's gonna work. Let's do this. So I'm hoping that with a bit of luck this will fire up this time and kind of run smoothly. Let's see. That was a misfire and a half. Let's do it again. So it's not firing, and I'm guessing now is the spark plugs. Fun and games, isn't it? Son of a bitch, that calls for another beer. Might as well, cheers. It actually makes it better. Right, back to the grindstone. Right, so at this stage, I'm guessing, because I had it running before using the regular, well, the temporary fuel reservoir, you know, from a bottle I had, and I was running okay. But I did notice they were suffering some issue from it didn't have spark properly on the front cylinder anyway. And I'm just guessing whether the spark plugs are faulted, because believe it or not, from my experience anyway, spark plugs can get faulted over time if you're firing a bike like this and it gets flooded and it doesn't run properly. Spark plug just getting basically fucked. And even though those are not wet, well, let's check for spark, see if we have any spark on this bad boy. Don't know how well you can see this. I'll try to hold it to the engine on the camera. Can you see that? I move the cables out of the way and you kind of should be able to see a little spark over there or not. I'll just move this here. Yeah, that's better. Let's see if it's sparking or not. Well, it does have a spark. It does have a spark, so that's a good thing. Let's check the rear cylinder as well while I'm at it. That's the rear cylinder over here. Let's check this bad boy, shall we? See what's lurking behind this one. It sounds like it's firing though, but not quite. This one is a bit wet. Let's have a look at that. Let me give it a clean and then we check for spark again. Right, let's see if this one is firing as the front sister. Get in there. As you can see, there's a nice spark on this bad boy. Let's do it again. So that's all good. Why aren't you happy with me? You tell me. Tell me, baby, what's wrong with you? Really strange, because it has been running absolutely fine. It's got petrol, it's got plenty of air. I'll get in there. Something is not quite right. But we'll get to the bottom of it. Right, let's do this again. We've got petrol. Just open it up, plenty of air. We know we've got a spark, definitely. See if we fire up again. Well, see if we fire up in double. Wish me luck. Not happy. It's not even trying. It's not even trying. I wonder what is the problem. I wonder what is the problem. Fucking thing. Right, so just to be on the safe side, let's have a look at the float ball again. Just to make sure. That's the bucket, there we go. Just to make sure we've got plenty of petrol coming in here. I got see-through tube, as you can see over here, petrol hose. So I know the flow from that new petrol petrol cock is way better than it was before. Before I could see air bubbles. That means that the petrol was kind of struggling to get through because of such a small opening on the petcock. But this bad boy is 8mm. I opened it up and it was just flowing like crazy. So let's have a look what's going on here. I know it's got petrol. I know it's got plenty of petrol. But let's open up that little float bowl and see what's happening. Yeah, there's petrol there, plenty of it as well. And the flow, if I open it up, as you can probably see over here, I got a bucket down there. So I open the petrol now, and if I release the float, there you go. It's flowing like crazy. I'm gonna shut it off now. So it's stopping it in the right place. That's the float, that's the petrol. Petrol's in there, plenty of it as well. You can see that. What am I missing, guys? What am I missing over here? Some of you probably know these carbs, and a lot know more bike engines than I do. What am I missing? How does it sound like? And I'm missing something, probably something obvious, but I'm not quite sure what right now. Right, let's put it back together. Doubt it made any difference what we did right now, but let's put it back together anyway, and we see what happens. Yeah, before we go any further, I know some of you mentioned I should put some kind of oil in here, and yes, oil is there. I tried different combinations of different oils. I use 3-in-1, I use WD-40, I use mixture of both. I use thicker oil, heavier oil, fork oil to dampen basically that piston movement over there, the valve movement here. It goes nicely, no issues here, so I'm hoping that's not the problem. I don't know, let's try this again. Let's try this again. I'm not having much hopes here, but let's do it anyway. Nothing, not even trying, and battery is dying. So let's have a break and rethink what's happening. Son of a bitch, isn't it? Guys, help me out here, clever heads over there. So we've got petrol, which is going through nicely now, we know this. We've got plenty of air. And we've got spark. Why was it running last week, or 2 weeks ago, and not running right now? That's kind of bugs me. What I think it is, what I'm gonna do next, I'm gonna reorder a new spark plugs, because I had this before on 2 builds actually. Okay, 1 build and one I was fixing one bike. There was a spark on the spark plug, but the spark wasn't kind of strong enough to fire up the engine properly, to turn it over. Well, not turn it over, to fire up properly. The engine wasn't running on the spark plugs. Even if it started, it was running for like 2 or 3 seconds and it was dying. It was exactly what's happening now. So that kind of makes me believe this spark plugs basically got faulted, whether that is such a thing. I'm just talking from my personal experience. I don't exactly have super technical knowledge how they work and all that shit behind it, but I'm guessing if I put £5 on it right now, that would be my guess. Fresh spark plugs. I'm going to reorder them now. They're going to arrive hopefully early next week, and we can do it again. In the meantime, I'm going to charge up the battery, and then we can test it all over again. But in the meantime, guys, drop me a comment below. What do you think is fucking happening over here? Because I'm pulling my hair right now. Drinking beer. And pulling my hair. I don't have that many left anyway. Yeah, guys, let me know what do you think the issue can be. As you can see, it's got good compression on it. Well, I think it has. We've got a spark, so the electrics, it's wired up properly. Is it strong enough for it? Probably not. I'm guessing that is spark plugs. Let me know what you think. There are probably way more clever people watching me right now and thinking, what the fuck are you doing? Obviously it's this. I'm hoping it's something really simple. So if you guys point me in the right direction, I'll be very, very much appreciated. That kind of ruins my day because I don't like leaving things unfinished. It's getting late now, so I won't be fucking about with this anymore. Put the battery on charge, get a couple of cold ones, and revisit that thing. Well, tomorrow, day after tomorrow, whenever the spark plugs arrive. Looking forward to your comments, guys. Tell me what you think. And until then, thank you very much for watching. Rock hard, have a beer, and I'll see you very soon.